late at night putting this thing together. He calls this the Hipu Pickle Surprise. He did send me a key, but hopefully we don't need that key. And let's see if we can just pick our way into this thing. He sent me several threatening emails, or actually trying to intimidate me, I think, saying, hey, this thing's coming. And Pickle, I gotta say, it did kind of leave a sour taste in my mouth. Come on, where's the right pick? Here we go. Nope, that's the one I want right there. Alright, I am gonna try to use the DeForest Diamond or the Reach pick because it is, after all, a challenge lock, and these usually have some pretty weird bitting. And pretty weird pinning, apparently. Let me try that again. Sorry to drag this on, but there's something springy in the very back, and it feels like 7 pins. I think we got 7 pins. Okay, definitely security pins, a little flop to it. Alright, we turn that a little bit. Hipu, man, what have you done? Is that a side pin? Let me check the bottom. Is it a bottom pin, or did you put something weird in here? Or a side pin? No? Okay. Alright, let's see what we got. I'm going to try to rake it first. I'm going to use Sparrow's Bogota. I mean, wouldn't that be funny? It would be nothing sour in my stomach about that. I'd be happy. Alright, I'm getting nothing. I'm going to try a little more vigorous rocking action, hoping maybe I can get set one of the pins anyway. I can feel some crunching in there, so I doubt that that's going to work. Alright, back to the DeForest Diamond. I'm going to put heavy tension to begin with. This is kind of odd, but I'm trying to force something to seize. Okay, that's still springy. I'm on 3 there. He's seasoned, so I'm going to lighten up on my tension, position my pick, lighten up on my tension, and we have a malfunction, Houston. Hipu. It looks like the top just popped off, and all the springs just came out. I did not do this. No clue, man. I didn't do it. I don't know if he loaded it from the top or what, but that wasn't clamped on very good. I can't very well continue picking. Sorry about that, guys. Hipu, man. Sorry, I tried. Stay safe. Stay legal, guys. It doesn't always work, you know. Sometimes you have a failure. Alright guys, I did fail to pick this because the top flew off, but I really want to give Hipu credit because when I took a look at the inside, I can see that he put a lot of work into this, and it's kind of ironic. He did send a note that says you'd be advised to dump the upper pins first rather than inserting a follower. So I dumped the upper pins first by spring action before picking, and that seemed to work pretty good. But of course it wasn't the plan. Let's take a look at the upper, or the body first. Right here, notice standard 6 pins. None of them are threaded or anything except this last one. I don't know if you can make it out. If I put some light in there, you might be able to see. I don't know if that's just the machining or if it's threaded, but it's kind of rough. It would catch either way, whether it's threads or not. In the core itself, let's take a look here. None of them are threaded, but that last one is counter milled, and for good reason. This is a SC20 key, a 6-pin key, pretty good bitting on it. And when you slide that in there, you'll notice that it doesn't reach that last pin, but that last pin kind of rides on the leading edge right there. So let's take the pin that he included, which was this one, and clearly designed to catch either the counter milling or the threading in the body. And so when you push the key in, it does push it up to the shear line. When you kind of manipulate the key a little bit, It might have been a little rough, I don't know, I didn't get a chance to try it. But there you go, that 7th pin does work. Okay, so let's take a look at everything else. Let me put him back down there. As I said, a lot of work went into this. The first two, I'm kind of glad I didn't have to pick it. First two, we were looking at drunken spools. Pretty difficult to pick. Next one is just, it looks like a homemade serrated, if we can get that to focus. Next one, or actually the next two, quite challenging. These seem to be the rage lately, these pin and pin. This is probably why he told me to dump the upper pins first, because these have a really bad habit of getting caught up on the core and jamming up about halfway, when you're halfway through the extraction. Really difficult to pick because those fine little tips get caught up in the shear line. These last two, this is the 6th pin, seems to be more of a spool, almost a fat serration. And then that 7th pin, I don't know why, there were two, one key pin, I don't know if he was in like that or if he was in the other way, but it really doesn't matter because the parts that are going to get caught on that counter milling or the what I think is probably threading is the serrated upper pin or this spool, this cut on the key pin itself. Anyway, I'm sorry I didn't get to pick it. I had no idea that this was going to fly off. I've got a feeling it wasn't. There were no punch marks on it, so it might have just been wedged in place. And when I put that very heavy tension and really pried up on pin number 3, which was the first binder, it might have just been enough to overcome the spring tension. I only found 3 of those springs. The other 4 are laying around the lab here somewhere. Anyway, fellas, thanks for your time. Stay safe, stay legal. Hipu, I'm sorry I didn't get to pick it, man, but great lock, great effort. I'm going to bag it up, send it back to you, let you reassemble it. We can try this again. Thanks, guys.